Hokum has a suspense and the jump scares to tell a good horror story, but is it actually good or just cliche? Let's talk about it. Hokum is not your typical run-of-the-mill cliche horror movie. This movie aims to creep the hell out of you and also make you feel really uneasy. Yes, at times in familiar ways, but the scares here are not forced at all and they are well placed. Hokum is the type of movie you get when you have a broken main character whose life was shattered by a traumatic moment from his childhood. He symbolically reflects this in his writing, even in the beginning of the movie, showing a scene from one of his books. Later on, he decides to visit an Irish hotel to scatter his parents' ashes, unaware the property is said to be haunted. Encounters then forces him to confront dark corners of his past. Where to even start with this movie? This film is for those who like good storytelling, well-crafted scares, major chills that hit you down to your bones, and a journey that's meant to be experienced in theater. It's also for those who have a traumatic event in the past that has been haunting them their entire life. Horror movies can either be a hit or a miss, and this one I'm glad to say was a complete hit. And the theater room that I was at a late night showing around 10 p.m. was basically full. The mood was perfect. What helped with this experience was how I did not see a trailer for this at all, nor a poster. I just knew that it was out and my friends recommended it. As the movie began, I was thinking, oh man, it's gonna be one of those movies with whatever the writer writes becomes real, but fortunately I was way off. Because within the first 10 minutes of the movie, you see how well crafted the scares are, and I was hooked. And man, I'm glad I was wrong. Right from the start of the movie, you get a sense of how the main character is rather disturbed, broken, and his mind is overshadowed by something, but we don't know what that is, at least not yet. As the movie went on, I right away thought of Insidious and a sense of the scares, because as the movie goes on, you get a sense of how the scares are well placed. Yes, it has some jump scares, but they are not cheap jump scares at all. The scares here are well aligned with the plot. I also got some Coraline vibes here, mainly with the imagery, because the imagery here really helps the movie get off the ground. It shows some creepy shit, such as a creepy ass clock, creepy angel babies hanging off the wall, basically creepy imagery in the background as the story unfolds. Above it all though, there's a creepy bunny that really gets under your skin each time it comes up on the screen. People in this theater room, they were gasping. They were trying to cover their eyes with their hands, and I loved it all. The suspense, the tension, the chills, and the night scenes make you feel a certain way. It makes you think each time the main character turns, you expect something in the background ready to scare you, but it does not. So when it does, it's extremely effective. Basically, this movie keeps you on the edge of your seat when shit goes down. Heads up though, the majority of the movie takes place in the hotel room, or the honeymoon suite to be exact. So in other words, in some scenes you might feel claustrophobic. That's the best thing about this film. In those scenes with tight spaces, you truly feel the goosebumps right through your skin. Keep in mind though, this honey suite is closed and no one's meant to go up there. There is a corridor scene that really hit it on a nail for me. This corridor scene is truly the first time the main character comes across something abnormal. As the scene plays out, you really feel something is off and get a sense of something getting close to you, not just mentally, but also physically. This particular scene was so well directed combined with the great score that it makes you truly believe and feel as if you are in that corridor along with the main character. Definitely an experience I will never forget. The main character here is Om, an author played by Adam Scott. This is someone who off the bat I began disliking. He came off as rude, soulless, condescending, and arrogant. But man, I gotta say, as the story went on and the more we got to know about him and we got to see why he was the way that he is, I told myself, crap, I would be the exact same way if I was in his shoes. Om's story is completely tragic, and this adds to the plot on top of the main story with the haunted hotel. They fit together so well like a puzzle piece. As the story goes on, you actually sympathize with him. His character development here is exactly how a well-written out character should be laid out, because he begins as a better individual, but as the story progresses, you see his change. His life changes as well. His dark past is something he must overcome to move on in life and to let go. As a kid, he had an accident that changed his life forever. Due to that, he had built up feelings, thoughts, and all of this made his book and life a bit bleak. I'm saying this because in his books, he always aims to have a dark, bleak ending, which now that I think about it is a reflection of his own life. It's almost as if he also wants to have a heartbreaking, bleak ending as well. The way he overcomes his tragic past is really the highlight of this movie, and the reason why I really enjoy this one in the theater. The tension here is what really helps Hokum stand out from all the rest. Everything perfectly builds up to it. Every jump scare is well placed. All the dark imagery is well placed, and even all the characters are well placed in this plot. Aside from there were two standout characters, Fiona the bartender and Jerry, a man living outside the hotel. You get attached to their kindness. And as the movie progresses, you get hit right in the feels because you see what happens to them. I want to say so much about this movie, but doing so will cross the line and I will get into spoiler territory. So what can I say other than Hokum was a well-crafted movie from start to finish. This small movie from Neon is exactly how a horror movie is meant to be made. It delivers creepy vibes, also delivers major goosebumps, it delivers you something horrible to dream about, and it delivers a good story, especially that creepy ass bunny. I don't think any scene was wasted here. The only one negative that I kinda have is how the ending was kinda somewhat cheesy. Regardless, it's part of the overall picture, which is to end things exactly how it began, showing how there is always a light in the end of the tunnel. The ending was poetic. The ending does showcase the main character's evolution. So in conclusion, this movie shows you how keeping guilt inside your soul will take away from your kindness and optimistic view, and how the guilt over an accident will consume you for the rest of your life, until you accepted that it was an accident. Hokum delivers the scares, delivers the goosebumps, delivers the fuel for your nightmares, and it delivers more than just a cliche horror movie. And to top it off, this is mixed with great storytelling, with making you sympathize for a character that came off as unlikable at first. This is definitely a highlight of horror of 2026. Well, this all leads me to my rating for this film, and for this one I give it a 4.8 out of 5. This is definitely the best cinematic experience in theater. I highly recommend buying it in 4K or in VOD for your digital collection. Well, thank you for your time today, my cinematic family. Thank you for sticking until the end of the video. If you are a true cinephile, please hit the subscribe button. By the way, guys, if you enjoyed this review for a movie full of jump scares, you'll probably love checking out my review for The Mummy. It's all about body horror. Definitely check that out. I am Chuy, and this is Chuy Cinematic Talk. Take care, and I'll see you next time.